Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. Today we're doing our Budget With Me recap for January 15th to January 28th. This is where we go in and compare what we had budgeted to what we actually spent in the last 2 weeks. You'll see that there were quite a few expenses that we just did not budget for at all. It is our second time giving this type of budgeting style a try, and I'm pretty sure it'll take us a few months to really get the hang of it. But we definitely had to be really flexible because we did have those unexpected expenses come up. We were also expecting to receive our sick leave paid out to us from 2020, and that didn't happen. It turns out that it's the second paycheck in January that gets paid out, our sick leave, at our hourly rates. So that's coming up, which is nice, but it did not happen this time. So we definitely did not hit a lot of our savings goals, but we were able to cover all of our debts, so that was definitely good. If you are interested in following along on my family's financial journey, please consider subscribing. It always means a lot to me whenever I see someone new subscribe to the channel, and if you would like to see more Budget With Me recap videos, definitely give this video a like. And let's go ahead and jump right into this. We did not get paid nearly as much as we thought we would because we were expecting some bonuses that were gonna come later in January than what we thought. So my husband made $1,547.32. I made $1,459.92, which was still more than my normal pay because I did have all that overtime that I knew was happening. We also received a little bit more extra money than what we thought. So we received $3,273.69. I did have a clothing purchase that I made way back in November that they did not fit me. I got 2 pairs of pants, and holy moly, 2 pairs of pants have never fit me worse. Literally don't know what happened there, but I did have to return those, so we did get a little bit of extra money from that return, even though we did have to pay like a shipping back fee, which kind of sucked, but it is what it is because I couldn't return the clothes in person. And then for my side hustle, I actually made more money than I thought I would. So I made $129.51. Pretty proud of myself there. I definitely know that that number is going to keep going up because I've definitely gotten a lot busier. So that'll be nice to kind of add that to the budget. In terms of our HOA, that came out perfectly, just like we expected. And our water bill, which I thought was $116, turns out I read it wrong, and it was actually $166.82. We do pay our water bill quarterly, but I don't understand really why it's so high. In our other house, our rental property, we pay way less for water, but technically we all get water from the same place, so I'm not sure why that is. I know previously it was because our sprinklers obviously take more water, and we have sprinklers at the house we live in, but not our old house. But I don't really know what we can do about that. We could try using less water, but I don't really know how people do that. If you have like found ways to try and minimize your water bill, any advice would be really helpful. I mean, we definitely don't just like run water like crazy people. So yeah, I don't know what's up with that, but any tips would be really helpful. Our car loan, we spent $400 on, just as planned. And in terms of the fixed expenses that we forgot, I'm just gonna go ahead and put them down below right here. The first one was our internet, which I think would die without. I mean, we work from home, so we budgeted $0, and we ended up spending $45.38. So I did figure out to like put this on one of my lists of these are bills that we have, make sure you're budgeting for them. So I guess it was good that I caught it. so that now in the future I can make sure we're consistently budgeting for it. We also forgot to budget for daycare, which is crazy. We take our daughter to daycare every single day pretty much. I mean 4 days a week really, but for some reason it just completely slipped my mind, and so we did spend $360 there, but we had to because she still has to go to daycare. And then I also forgot that we have my Orange Theory class, and I didn't budget for that either, so that was $0. Now typically this costs $89 a month, but I did decide to go to a 9th class. I get 8 free ones per month, but I have been trying to go once every 3 days, so last month it turned into 9 classes instead of 8, but I felt like I really wanted to do the workout anyways, just so that I'm like staying on track and things like that. I'm feeling really good working out this regularly, so I definitely don't want to mess with a good thing. So it ended up costing us $107 in total. We did do a lot better on our variable expenses though. They were all budgeted for, and we didn't have any extra variables come up that we couldn't just squeeze into these categories, so definitely made some good moves there. We only spent $182.36 on groceries. We did one big grocery buy at the beginning of the 2 weeks, and we made that last for all 2 weeks, so very proud of us there. We are starting keto next pay period, so we are spending a lot more money in groceries, like a lot more. So we did consider making the grocery bill or the grocery budget smaller, but with keto, honestly, we should have probably just made it bigger. We're still trying to figure that out, especially if we decide to keep doing keto or not. It's been 2 days so far, and my husband just keeps telling me how hungry he is, but like, eat something, I guess. I don't know. So we'll see how long he's interested in sticking to that, but I'm feeling really good so far. In terms of our gas, we only spent $22.11, and so we ended up putting that extra money as well as the grocery extra money towards some sinking funds, which you'll definitely see later on in the video. Out to eat, we spent $140.62. We actually, the very first week, did not go out to eat at all. We were just filled up with all the groceries that we had bought. We had a ton of options, so that was really nice. And then in the second week, we had a really nice dinner date, which we did not take our daughter to. We had my mom in town who was watching her, which was really nice. And then I had a really rough day at work and had to like buy pizza. It was necessary. So lots of carb loading, so good. Very expensive though, because we did have it delivered and had to pay that delivery fee and that tip as well. But again, still $10 under budget, so I'm very proud of us there. My husband spent $118 of his fund money, and he did have some money left over from previous pay periods, so he was able to dip into those old sinking fund monies to do that. I also had to do the same thing. I actually spent $181.60, excuse me. I really don't know how I did that. Like, thinking right now, I guess I bought a book and I bought some supplies to make cash envelopes, so a laminator, and I had to get like a paper cutter, things like that. But looking back, I'm like, where did $200 go? It doesn't feel like, yeah. So I definitely am gonna try and be a little bit better with that. I did only spend money I had, but nevertheless, I am still kind of wondering, like, why'd you spend so much money? Did that gain you anything? Because that's really what, spending your money is about, in my opinion. when you're budgeting your money, you're trying to just make good decisions with it. And when you spend like $200 over 2 weeks and you can't remember all the ways you spent that money, like maybe you weren't spending your money on things that you value. And so I'm definitely going to try and get a little bit better at really only bringing things into my life that I value, because I'm not a huge fan of clutter anyway, so I don't want to bring that in. Anyways, my daughter's fun money, she spent $64.39 mostly on formula, and we did get her a gift, which I talked about in my weekly budget check-in video. I will link that up in the eye above if you're interested in seeing that. That's where we really spent a lot of this fun money, and out to eat as well. That wraps up all of our expenses that we had for the pay period, and now we are going to go ahead and take a peek at our savings. The top priority savings that we are doing right now is for our taxes. We are expecting a rather large tax bill in April, and hopefully in the next few weeks we can get a better idea of what that looks like. But currently we're trying to save up for $6,000 in a tax sinking fund. And because we did so well in the previous 2 pay periods, we actually only had to save $1,140.27 in order to hit our goal of $6,000. So even though we didn't put as much towards taxes, it's because we didn't have to, and we have finally achieved that goal. So very exciting for us. We did put $40 away into our phone sinking fund, and that is because every January we pay for our phone bill for the year up front, and so we're saving up for about $1,000 there. Because we received less money than we were expecting, and then also had those upcoming expenses come up, we did decide to roll back our IRA contributions to $500 instead of $600. We are currently at about 17% of our income going towards retirement so far this year, and our goal is closer to 14%. And where you might think, oh, like you're exceeding your goal, that's awesome. What we actually are trying to do is hit the goal right on the head, because we do have so many other financial goals. There's debts to pay off and other things that we need to save for. So we're trying really hard to stay right at that 14%. So you'll see that we won't probably be contributing to our IRA again for quite some time, but right now we're at 17% and we were able to put in a good amount. So I'm definitely proud of us there. Our school sinking fund definitely took the biggest hit. We were only able to put away $343 towards that. Lucky for us, we don't really have any school expenses coming up anytime soon until probably April, just like those taxes. And we do have what we need saved up for April already saved up. So we got closer to our money goal instead of exceeding it. So I feel good about that, especially with everything else that happened. In terms of our savings, this is where we put money into the stock market for, future expenses that we haven't yet planned for. Maybe in a few years, maybe we'll need like a new car, or we'll have maybe a really big emergency. Because of everything that happened, we just decided not to contribute to this at all. It's definitely one of our least important goals, is contributing more to savings that is actually invested in the market. We do have our emergency fund fully funded, which is just sitting in a bank account. So made some good decisions there. It was an easy thing to cut from the budget. And then in terms of our mortgage sinking fund, we actually decided to put more. My husband and I talked, and we thought that having a round number would make more sense. So we were able to put away $2,500 towards our mortgage sinking fund. We started this sinking fund because we have a lot of pay periods where we won't earn enough to cover our mortgage and also eat on those pay periods. And we didn't want to make anything like too uncomfortable, because we have a mortgage that we can afford. I think our mortgage is like 18% of our gross income, so we we aren't like house poor by any means, but we definitely don't want to like be struggling for money on the weeks where we do have to pay our mortgage. So we thought that would be a good amount, and then every time we have a shortfall, we'll just take $500 out of that, and whenever we have quite a bit of extra money, we'll try and contribute to it just to kind of balance things out. But that will be all for me in my budget with me video recap for January 15th to January 28th. Again, if you did like this video, please go ahead and consider liking it. And if you're interested again in following along on our journey, definitely subscribe. Thanks, guys.